Hello to all Cinemaster lovers.
Oh, God! I guess I'm good.
Hope you enjoy watching. Let's get started. Our movie begins with a girl entering the forest, and suddenly she hears sounds from above the trees. She gets worried and looks up, and as the sounds grow louder, as if creatures are chasing her, she keeps running until she trips and falls to the ground. She looks at her abdomen to find it suddenly enlarged, and something approaches her. Then we shift to our protagonist, Dana, who has just woken up and is exercising. When she sees a bird from the window, she grabs her camera and takes a picture. Afterward, her husband, Charlie, wakes up, and she jokes with him, saying, "I don't know how your friends will tolerate you for 6 months when you travel and stay with them." Then she suggests they go on a camping trip in the forest for 2 days before he leaves, and he agrees. Suddenly, she tells him she's going to the bathroom to take a shower. She goes in, plays loud music, and then starts vomiting. Later, she prepares her bag for the camping trip. Her husband comes and presents her with a gift, a compass to celebrate their wedding anniversary. She gets excited and thanks him. He suggests they stay home instead of camping, but she insists that the house lacks adventure. They take their bags and leave. He takes his gun and secretly puts it in their bag without his wife noticing. They get in the car and head towards the forest. On the way, Charles tells her not to stay alone when he travels and that she needs to make friends. But she replies that she's fine and he shouldn't worry about her. She flips through the photos on her camera, sees pictures of children she had taken, and tells him she wants to become a mother. He reminds her that they had agreed from the start of their marriage that they didn't want kids and would live their lives traveling and adventuring. This upsets her, and she stays silent. He then says, "Why are we talking about this now? Let's just enjoy our vacation together." They take a boat to reach the forest they want to explore. Once there, they begin walking deeper into the woods. Dana gets tired frequently and has to stop to rest. When she tells her husband, "I don't know why I keep needing to stop," he jokes with her, saying it's because she's getting older. They keep walking until they find a spot and set up their tent. Charles falls asleep, but Dana stays awake. She hears movement outside the tent, grabs her camera, and takes pictures. She notices something in the photo near a tree. When she shows the photo to Charles, he, still sleepy, tells her to go back to sleep. As she tries to sleep, she hears gunshots in the distance. The next morning, after waking up, Charles dismantles the tent, and they venture deeper into the forest. They set up the tent in another location, light a fire, and sit by it. Dana tells Charles that the place is peaceful, and she considers coming here alone after he leaves. He responds, "That's why I always tell you to make friends." She suggests he could change his mind and stay with her instead of traveling, but he gets irritated and says he won't change his decision. He leaves her and goes into the tent. Dana takes her camera and walks around the forest. Suddenly, she finds an old, destroyed tent. She approaches it and finds a bag with a book inside. The book is about children. She takes it with her and returns to their tent. Later, while they're sleeping, they wake up to the sound of gunfire and motorbikes near their tent. Charles observes with binoculars and tells Dana there are 10 people gathered around a fire. He takes his gun and decides to confront them, but Dana gets scared when she sees the gun and tries to stop him. Suddenly, they hear terrifying sounds and gunfire. Charles looks through the binoculars again and sees creatures attacking the group. Some people are shooting, while others are trying to escape on motorbikes. Within minutes, the area becomes quiet, and everyone who was there is dead. Suddenly, they hear someone calling for help. Charles decides to rescue the person, but Dana refuses and tries to stop him to keep him safe. He gives her the gun and goes to help the injured person. After he leaves the tent, Dana hears noises nearby and sees a shadow outside the tent. She gets scared and calls out to Charles, who returns carrying the injured person. They bring him inside the tent. Charles asks Dana to hold the man still while he tries to treat the wound on his leg. The man struggles, so Charles has to hit him to knock him out. Dana asks Charles if the attackers could have been black bears. Then they find a large claw in the man's wound. Dana suggests they should escape, possibly using the motorbikes left by the deceased. Suddenly, they hear the terrifying sounds again, this time much closer. The injured man wakes up and starts screaming in pain. Dana tries to quiet him so the creatures won't attack them. They ask for his name, and he replies, "Sean Ramsey, Zrenia," and he replies, "Sean Ramsey." When they ask what happened and about the creatures that attacked them, he tells them they must leave the area immediately. Charles asks what brought them here, and Dana explains they came to celebrate their anniversary in the forest. Sean then says he proposed to his wife in this very place. Charles seems uncomfortable and hands the gun to Dana before resting. Sean starts talking to Dana, thanking her for saving him. She tells him to thank Charles instead, as he insisted on rescuing him while she was against it. Sean then says she reminds him of his ex-wife, who left him and took their daughter. Dana asks if he never saw his daughter again, and he replies no. She asks how old his daughter is now, and he says 9 years years old. Morning comes, and Charles wakes up to the sound of someone calling for help. He decides to go out and rescue them, but Dana holds him back, saying it's a trap. Charles stays in the tent, and it indeed turns out to be an ambush by the creatures. When no one comes out to help, they see something drag the person up into the trees, then throw them onto the tent and take them away. Dana asks Sean what he knows about the creatures that attacked them, and these creatures, up until now, don't want to attack them while they're in the tent here, and those who come here never return. He tells her that he had a grandmother named Millie. She used to tell them that she knew the truth about this place. She told them that many years ago, there was a drought in this area. The warriors decided to sacrifice a teenage girl from a rival tribe. They tied her to the trunk of a tree in front of a bear's cave. The girl kept screaming, but she was pregnant and gave birth to the baby. Years later, they began to notice the disappearance of pregnant women from the tribe, and anyone who went into the forest would disappear. Charles and Dana are distracted, giving Sean the chance to grab the gun. When Charles sees that Sean has taken the gun, he tries to get it back, but a shot is fired, hitting Charles in the leg. Sean points the gun at Dana, threatening her, and saying she will come with him because she is his ticket out of this place. He claims the creatures didn't attack them because she is pregnant. Charles responds, saying she is not pregnant, but Dana remains silent. When Charles asks her directly, she apologizes and says she tried to tell him, but he refused to discuss it. Dana then agrees to go with Sean, but insists Charles come along. Sean refuses and threatens to kill Charles. Dana grabs a claw from one of the creatures that they had removed from Sean's wound. She uses it to hit Sean and takes the gun from him. Charles tells her to tie Sean to a tree and leave him for the creatures. After tying him up, Dana returns to the tent to treat Charles's wound. Charles asks her why she didn't tell him about the pregnancy earlier. She says she tried to bring it up while they were in the car, but he refused to listen. Charles then asks her to go and try to start the motorcycle so they can escape the forest. Suddenly, Dana notices that Sean has freed himself and escaped. She hears the sound of the creatures and assumes they attacked him. Sean, however, hides under the body of one of his friends. Dana steps out of the tent and hears movement ahead. She notices someone hiding behind a tree, points her gun, but drops it when a strange tree-like creature emerges. The creature approaches Dana and places its hand on her stomach. Charles comes out of the tent, grabs the gun, shoots the creature, and kills it. He hands the gun to Dana and tells her to keep going. Dana runs to the motorcycle but struggles to start it. She encounters one of the creatures, which points at her with a finger wearing a ring. She hears Charles calling her to run. When she reaches the tent, she finds Charles surrounded by creatures. She runs to rescue him, but as she approaches, she feels unwell, noticing her stomach has grown larger. Charles is shocked by her appearance, and Dana tells him she feels something changed when the creature touched her. Her hands begin to change, and marks appear on her face. Charles stays by her side, telling her he would have been a good father. Suddenly, Sean arrives, saying he needs Dana as his ticket out of there. When he sees her stomach, he urges them to leave before it's too late. Dana notices the ring Sean is wearing, the same one she saw on the creature. She accuses him of coming here not for his brother, but to find his wife. Sean admits she's right, and says his wife started hearing voices calling her to the forest. He tells Dana she must have heard the same voices, and the forest called her here. Sean demands Dana leave Charles and come with him, threatening to kill Charles. One of the creatures approaches the tent and grabs Sean. Dana supports Charles as they head toward the motorcycle, but she collapses from exhaustion. Creatures gather around them and throw Sean in front of Dana, signaling for her to kill him. Sean attacks Dana, threatening to harm the baby. He keeps asking where she is until his daughter Clara appears. He tells her he's her father, and she approaches him. Dana tries to push Charles away from Clara, but Sean gets impaled on something sharp and dies in pain. Clara pushes him, and he dies. Dana's features continue to change, with her hands becoming tree-like. One of the creatures gestures to her, and she moves toward Charles, who tells her he loves her. She breaks his neck and kills him. Dana collapses, screaming as she gives birth. The creatures take the baby. Later, Dana's daughter enters the forest, now pregnant. She finds Dana's camera on the ground and hears strange sounds from above the trees. The movie ends, implying the daughter will meet the same fate as Dana. If you enjoyed today's movie summary, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. See you in the next episode. Goodbye.